G'day guys, welcome back to All Will Fall, and I hope you guys are doing well today. We are struggling trying to build up a bit of water and a little bit of food supply, but if I have to compare the way we're going with the very first episode, I think we actually do have quite a bit of water. In fact, our water storage is about halfway full, so it might not be as bad as I thought it was. Food, though, is looking pretty bad. We are consuming quite a lot of food, and we're going to have to try and ramp up some kind of food production. Not only that, we are also going to need to try and, I guess, ramp up some more electricity production as well. So those are going to be our two focuses for this episode. To start off though, it seems like we have a couple of our boats idling, so we should get them working on securing some food just to try and slow down our, food consumption rate a little bit. And I do also want to resolve a few issues here. We've got pathway issues for whatever reason. So apparently people can't really reach this place. So maybe the best way is just for us to add some pathways like that, maybe? Or what is the deal here? Yeah, it seems a little odd that we can't reach this, unless there's something else blocking us. I don't know if this could be a bug, because I have seen bugs in the past where, people can't traverse through an area even though it is quite clearly an area that can be traversed to or through. So I don't know what's going on there. Perhaps maybe we can just play around with it a little bit more. So maybe something like that, and maybe we add a staircase there. So yeah, we can add people there. Yeah, it's really strange. Normally what would happen is you would see the numbers appear only if it is accessible. So my assumption is that it is accessible and that we're just seeing some kind of a bug here. But anyway, I'm hoping people will actually get to it. If not, then we've got a couple of workers just not really doing too much. I don't actually see any of the workers saying that they can't reach it though, so hopefully it is resolved. We also have an issue with our house over here not being accessible, apparently. So let's try and play around with this as well. And if I just move that there, yeah, it seems like we've got a bug here where the sort of symbol is permanently on some of these buildings. So I don't know if that's something that the devs would like to look into and perhaps resolve. So I wonder if there's a way we can get rid of that. If we, say, demolish that and say we abort. Yeah, okay, it still exists. So let's get to demolishing that, and maybe we just replace that completely with another one up here, and hopefully that will resolve the issue. And I don't think we need as many pathways here, but it looks like people are starting to build it already, which is good. And yeah, I'm gonna leave this one here, and maybe not worry about it too much. I'm assuming that people are reaching it. It could be a very bad assumption. Now, I am also just going to keep things a bit slow here because I do want to prepare for some electricity generation, or at least some better electricity generation with our water wheels. So let's get to that. Do need to plan a little bit for it. So I want to just add a little bit more to the corners of this structure. We might even bridge the entire gap between these two structures here, but we'll see how we go. And what we want is to go maybe something like that. Let's break out our water wheel here and just make sure that we can actually... Yeah, okay. That's it right there. I think. Or, hang on. Is this something that we can fit the water wheel into? No, we need a little bit more space, I think. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, we need 3. Do we get some research going as well? Maybe. So I'm just not entirely sure what research we should be getting into at this point. Maybe we could do fuel to water. I know I'm trying to steer clear of polluting buildings, but if we're really desperate for water, which we're not actually if you think about it, we could try and bump things up by exchanging fuel to get the foods that we want, or sorry, the water that we want. But we could do maybe electric greenhouses. We don't even have normal greenhouses, so maybe we're jumping the gun a little bit there. Fuel to energy might not be bad. Or we could go in for another one of these buildings, but we're not even using the shop for the engineers at the moment because, well, we had an issue with producing additional junk in the previous episode. Maybe we'll go with advanced decorations, and I just want to research something so that we're not keeping any of our engineers in there idle. But yeah, let's get our water wheels set up here. So actually we need even more space. Maybe that's what we need. Yeah, I haven't really played around with the water wheels at all, so yeah, it is a pretty big structure, isn't it? So you sort of need to allow for quite a bit of space. So can I fit another one in there? Yep. I just want to make sure that, you know, we're not going to cause the entire thing to collapse. But once these are done, we can pull at least a couple of people off, and we can start generating electricity from the water wheels instead. Do we have any workers? Yes, we do. Let's get a couple of people gathering junk, and maybe a couple of people gathering some wood. And I wonder if we have enough junk production right now to justify having a couple of workers in the junk shop. I don't know. But anyway, let's speed up time and let's hope that, yeah, I think I can see people gathering the water from here. So that's good. Yeah, don't know what's going on with all of that. Yeah, we this is another thing that's come up once more. So I have no idea why that is such an issue. Is it because I removed the pathway over here? I don't think so. I think it's probably just a bug. What is going on here? Can't reach pile of water bottles. Do we seriously still have someone here? Maybe we do. Oh, I see what's going on. I think maybe I may have isolated some people in here and they're having trouble trying to get back home. I thought there was no one there anymore, and that was why I was sort of comfortable removing all of this stuff. Let's get people home. We need all of our workers, don't we? There we go. Bloody hell, man. And I bet you that's the guy that also lives in that house that that's resolved everything. Oh, goodness me. All right. Yeah, I wish I catched that a little earlier. Let's get a couple of people off of the turbines and hopefully we'll be able to power things using our water wheels. I do have a few extra hands still, so let's get people working on just some random things here and there. And the water levels are going to go down again, so we've got to watch for that because these are no longer going to be effective. In fact, I don't know if we want people to start working on the water wheels. Maybe we need to pull people off of those and just continue generating electricity the old way. And we're going to have to wait until high tide for using the water wheels. So this is no longer accessible, which is it fine? I'm just trying to figure out if there are any other work sites that are worth visiting. Maybe we should gather some more steel from this side. So let's add maybe something like that. We can get a couple of people in here. And I am sort of hoping that we will be able to get, you know, some more citizens. So if there's one thing that I feel I wouldn't mind happening a little sooner is the chance to obtain more citizens. At the moment, you sort of have to wait for the... well, I don't know if the slave trader event happens regularly, but there's another event where, you know, you just simply get migrants coming in, and you either choose to, you know, get all of them or only a few of them. Then there's the event with the different factions, and you can choose, you know, which faction, or which workers faction, or which faction's workers, rather, that you decide to take on. So... yeah, it is a bit slow in getting more citizens. So research is done. So we should think about the next batch of research, but do we really want to do that? I'm just looking at food. We are, you know, holding on with food, so that's not too bad. And I don't really see a need for us to really get into too much other research. What I could do is get to researching some of these cranes, which will essentially make it so that we generate a lot more of the corresponding resources here. I believe it's giving us more. Yeah, so the catchers, they only give us 4 of either wood, or this one produces only 2 wood. So if you use the cranes, you'll actually be able to get 8 wood and 8 junk each, but it does consume electricity, and you do need engineers in there, so a very specific workforce. I think it's not such a bad thing, and I might start with the junk cranes first, actually. And then what we'll do is we'll start thinking about replacing the electric junk catchers with the cranes instead. I think that'll be a good way for us to hopefully get a bit more junk, and then maybe with the increased rate, we might be able to then throw in a couple of workers in the junk shop to increase happiness. Maybe. Alright, we've got more idle hands, but not a lot of workplaces for them. Just trying to think of whether or not there's anything we can try and access. Maybe we can come down this way. There's some, I think this is junk and maybe some food down there. So it might not be a bad thing to try and get to. Though we are going to experience high tide soon. Let's just get people in there anyway. And as soon as high tide comes, we'll shift our workforce around as usual. Oh, we've got a new event here. I've never seen this one. Missing water. Someone has been stealing water from our reserves. We need to do something about it before others start getting any ideas. Spread the news. Our people will help us. All groups reach loyalty 3. I guess, so basically what this means, and I didn't really understand the meaning of it, but you could resolve things amicably if you had certain factions reaching a certain loyalty point. And yeah, all of our factions have already reached loyalty 3. I think the last time we saw something similar, we had to have each faction at loyalty 5. And basically our people are, you know, standing up for us, essentially. It's probably just leaking, gather a team and find out who did this. I do have the influence for it. I think I'm going to use some influence because we've got a lot of influence in the bank at the moment and we are generating more. So let's do that. So hopefully we can then have a follow-up to that. Well, I think it's a little bit too late now to get people to work in the danger zones, so let's pull people out immediately. And I don't think anyone else is working in any of those dangerous sites, so let us shift around our energy producers and let's get them in over here, and we should see energy production pick up. Ooh, let's get these people out. Almost forgot about them. Oh, yeah, this game, it is a little tricky sometimes when you're dealing with such a big workforce and having to just manage absolutely everyone all the time. We are running out of power here, but I'm hoping that will resolve itself as soon as the water level rises. I could actually throw a couple more people in here because we've got some idle hands now. I'm just trying to find some other work sites for people. We have some junk that have spawned in this platform. We did actually gather some metal there before. I wonder if it might not be a bad time for us to try and reach it again. You know what? I think what would be good is if we started breaking down some of these walls, we'll get a whole bunch more wood, and then there's access to the lower levels there, which has a bit more water, a bit more junk as well. So hopefully that'll do us some good. So this should happen pretty quickly, I think. Word spreads, we do have new citizens coming in. Let's welcome everyone as usual. And we do need to work out housing immediately. So let's go ahead and do that. I think I'm going to move this up there, and what I'll do is I'll place another house just on top of this one. How much junk and wood do we have? Okay, we've got a bit of both actually, so I might just use a little bit of junk there. And, well, apparently this is not going to work. Alright, I was hoping to squeeze a house in there. Oh, maybe. Yeah. That works, that works. I I do feel a little bit nervous about the placement there, but I think it'll hold. It's sort of attached to these two homes, and that's why it manages to hang on there. We will need a pathway though before people can start living in there, so let's just add a pathway there. And I do need yet another home to add to the mix, so let's maybe just squeeze another one right here. I think that's still fine and still good in terms of clearance over here. If not, then we might need to move this to the front a little bit to give it more clearance. But I'm sure the workplace will eventually tell us if there's an issue with clearance. Research is done once more, and again I'm getting a little bit more confused as to what we should research at this point. Maybe the wood cranes? Maybe? And we can check out how difficult it is to get the junk cranes here. It's only 10 junk and 15 wood, so that's actually pretty generous in terms of, you know, the materials required for it. But what about size? Yeah, size-wise, it's actually not bad either. So we should be able to get this in pretty quickly. Why don't we get our workers out of this place? We'll take a bit of a hit on our, what is this? Hang on, this is the wood one, sorry. We want people continuing working on the wood, but maybe the junk one we do want people to leave. And let's just remove that. Still a couple of walls here being deconstructed, so it is taking a while. Just checking for all of the food that is going to respawn in the water, the fishing spots. So let's start working on fishing immediately. And that's gone, and we should be able to get this in its place. You would hope. Might need to just fix things up a little bit. Maybe something like that, and let's see if we can get this in. So it's telling us that it's giving us 0%. I don't know what that means exactly. Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on a second. I've misunderstood how this works. Collects resources directly beneath it. I see. Okay, so I can't completely ignore the use of electric junk catchers. Basically, the way this works is the junk needs to be directly below it. And we would be using that to collect any junk that spawns. Alright. In that case, it's not as useful as I thought it would be. It does produce 8 junk per hour, which obviously speeds the process up of gathering junk, but this produces junk out of nothing, right? So I think producing junk out of nothing is probably a better idea. We've got a clearance issue, apparently. And also, things don't seem to be holding for whatever reason. Let's just add a little bit of support and see if we can get this back in, because, yeah, I mean, junk production is important. And we'll get some workers straight into that. Goodness me, alright. Well, we're learning from our mistakes, and I suppose the wood crane would be doing the same thing. So, anyway. We do have access now to the lower levels of this building. We may as well start thinking about a pathway for our guys to reach those resources. And with that, we should be able to collect on more water. Our water storage is getting a little bit crazy here, isn't it? So we might want to rethink the water storage. So I'm just sort of trying to get people out of the way here, and we might just shuffle a few things around. So if I move that there, we should still be able to move people around in the area, and then what I want to do is I'll move this across that way. I'll also move this that way, and might have to temporarily move these. And we'll move them back, obviously, but just need them out of the way to begin with. And maybe we need to move this as well. And I think I'll just build myself one more storage container for water and just have it built there. It should be a priority, to be honest. Let's go, people. Let's build this thing. Alright, I might need to move this somewhere else, just so that people get access to stuff. It is sort of blocking the way. There we go. Alright, so now we should be able to move this back. And goes back there, and this goes back there as well. And that should still be out of the way for people to still be able to, you know, walk around it. I might even be able to add one more above it. And this should really maximize our water collection during the rainy days. How's our electricity production going? It's actually pretty good, in the green. We've got a lot of people working on electricity though. And we do need to keep in mind that this does consume wood, so I've got a lot of idle hands. Let's get people working. So yeah, we want to try and reach more work sites, I feel. Let's try and get ourselves to the junk over here. Get a couple of people working on that, and we are also going to see a 2-meter reduction of the sea level, so might want to wait for what that's going to reveal. We do have one person. I guess maybe I can throw the one person in here and we can take them back off if we don't want them there. And research, again, not sure what we should get. I think maybe I'll jump straight into... Do we do fuel gathering? Maybe we should go into deconstructing walls from metal. And I think that's going to be quite useful because we do have walls such as this one which are still not accessible to us, so because they are metal, basically. So, but as soon as we get that researched, we should be able to break through it, and we can even, you know, get metal as a result, which is quite nice. Okay, we found the water thieves. Thank goodness. We found the group who has been stealing our water. Turns out it's just a bunch of kids. Should we punish them or let them go? Oh. Okay, yeah, some of these decisions are going to be pretty tough, right? Reminiscent of Frostpunk, as I keep saying. We get a little bit of influence here, but it's only 10. That's nothing. We should encourage our kids. They now work for me. We do get loyalty from every single group. A public beating? Jeez. What about the first one here? Plus 20 influence. All citizens reach water consumption to 0 out of 3. Okay, right. I needed to bump up our water consumption to be able to have access to this one. Yeah, not happening. Let's do just a net increase in loyalty, just because water doesn't seem to be a problem for us at the moment. And in fact, now that I have a bit more attention to look at all of our resources here, our food is dwindling kind of quickly. So this is where I want to utilize this area, and I do want to have our greenhouses set up. Yes, we do need to continue generating more electricity, but we'll come back to that. Let's set things up here. I think I can save a bit of wood. I don't need to add the last sort of bits on the sides, I don't think. But let's get into the greenhouse. So we'll do maybe a greenhouse there. Thing is, we might be able to, you know, fit like up to 3 greenhouses on this one section, and then we might be able to fill a few more greenhouses in the next section if we really need greenhouses that badly. We don't really have any workers for these greenhouses though, so I might need to pull a few people off other things. Gonna get our sailor off of that and gathering food, because yeah, food is worrying me quite a bit. Maybe I could even take the people off of water and refocus on food instead. Do we have any food down the bottom here? Maybe not. Maybe that's a bit of wood over there. Let's try and go for that. As long as our boats are working on the fish though, I think that will be good. I think we can take a couple of people off of that and we can start them on our greenhouses. And yeah, so looking at the greenhouses though, they will need more water, so our water situation will start to dip. But as long as we can convert that water into food, I should be pretty happy. Again, the group leaders are fighting. We'll tell them to cool their jets. Get one more loyalty out of them. One idle hand here. What should we do? Oh, we don't need these people in there, so let's get them focusing on food. Trying to build up a bit of a buffer for us. Do we even have any more food anywhere? Maybe not. Maybe we can get them working on water in that case, because if we're converting water into food, then it's basically the same thing. And yeah, perhaps maybe I am going to want to think about doing another greenhouse. I don't think the greenhouse uses electricity though, and one of the requirements for the greenhouse is sunlight, and that is the reason why I'm placing it at the very top. So let's do another greenhouse, and let's try and ramp up the production of food. And just looking at our wood situation here, but we do have a little bit of wood supply, so we might want to do a third water wheel. And we can get another research going. I really don't know what to get and what to prioritize at this point. Maybe some metal support buildings would be good, because the more citizens we start to have, the more complicated our building requirements are going to be, and we're going to need to start thinking about supporting things with metal. But it will mean that we need to gather more metal as well. So, anywho, let's start thinking about what we want to do around these parts. Get that in there. Do something like that, and then I'm hoping we can fit this in without things collapsing. Yeah, it might collapse actually, so we do have a sailing trader there apparently. Let's check on that in a second, but just want to see if I can support this structure here that I'm trying to build. And I've run out of materials. Just need a little bit more. Can I steal some wood from anywhere? Like, maybe I don't need access to this area for now. Maybe we can just steal that. Yes, okay, good. And the rain is coming, which means that we should be able to put some more workers back into the water wheels. So we'll do that in a second. Let's take a look at the sailing trader. So we could get 60 food if we exchange 120 water. I don't know how I feel about that, because the conversion rate between water and food is 1-to-1 with our greenhouses, provided that our greenhouses are all operating fully. Let me just have a look. Everything is at 100% here, so my assumption is that that's probably not a good deal. I think maybe what we could do is grab some wood, perhaps, because we're out of wood anyway. But yeah, food. Our food consumption, guys. I am a little worried. Do we bump food down for each faction? It might not be a bad idea, although their happiness is going to diminish. But we kind of need to stretch things out a little bit. So I might have to do that. And maybe when we're, you know, or when we've fixed the food situation, we can get people back onto more food. Oh, yes, that's right. Get people out before it floods. Keep forgetting about that. I'm just checking on any other workplaces that might flood. I think that's the only workplace, so... And we should be able to get people into our water wheels now. One more. And how's our greenhouse looking? Yeah, looking good. A couple of workers in there straight away. Again, would love to see more citizens, but then that increases our consumption. More equal than others. People are accusing you of treating one group better than the other. If not dealt with, this might turn into a problem. I could deal with this using influence. Workers reach happiness 20, engineers reach happiness 20. Or an equal society is a strong society. So yeah, everyone's at 20. This is definitely something that I could use to resolve it. And I see no reason not to choose this one. But if I wanted to, taking an influence hit isn't too bad. Alright, so let's get people working on junk over there. And I suppose I can throw the extra person in the junk shop, because we do have a bit more junk right now. Electricity, yeah, electricity is looking good. Still wants at least, you know, one more water wheel. And our water is looking real nice, guys. I'd have to say. We've done a pretty good job there. So with the amount of water that we have, perhaps maybe getting that additional greenhouse is a good idea, and then we can get some extra workers in there. I mean, I'm just hoping that we will get some extra workers soon. And how are we doing with wood? We're doing pretty good, so I can probably add a few more pieces of wood out here just to allow people to move around a little bit more. And I want to expand up the top of this section here. How much is one piece? 12 wood. Okay, let's not go too crazy. And we'll wait a little bit until we place some more down. And this bridge here, I kind of want to update because we now have some better pathways. And these pathways apparently should help support things above it. I don't really know how that works exactly, but we could give it a go. How much is one of these? 4, and then this one's 8. So this one, a stronger path with a railing can be built longer than a regular path, but has to be aligned in one direction. Yep, makes sense. And then a large bridge-like path that can support things above it. Affects movement speed, plus 20%. So I guess maybe people are moving a little slower when taking these pathways, and this might increase people's movement speed a little bit. 8 each. I think we should be able to do this. So yeah, we'll just do something like that. I don't know what happened there. I assume they didn't die or anything, though. Our boats have stopped working for whatever reason. Let's maybe just get them working on other fishing spots. I guess maybe they ran out of fish or something. Okay, so looking at our situation at the moment, it appears that no one's building this because everyone's a little bit too busy with their own work. I'm just going to try and force priority on that. Hopefully we get some people on it soonish. And yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's anything else we can do here. Probably doing another water wheel would be good for us. We can also maybe do another water wheel out this way. I'm reluctant to use this area here because the boats may need to traverse through this section. Ooh, we've got our steel supporting blocks now, which is quite nice. We'll use that when we need to. Don't need to rush into it. And I suppose we should start thinking about the next batch of research here. I'm just considering how much water we have, which is quite a lot now, and whether or not it might be a good idea to have sun energy boilers, and we could put them here, so all of our energy production is happening in the one place. Maybe. Obviously needs clear access to the sky. That won't be a problem though. Worst case scenario, we could maybe put it somewhere here as well, together with the greenhouses. Yeah, we'll see if we can research that. We got a few idle hands. Let's get people working on food immediately. And we are starting to see a net increase in food. That's really, really nice to see for once. So once we've got a bit more of a supply, I think we'll start bumping up people's food supply once more, or food rations, because we are seeing a bit of a dip in happiness with a lot of our factions here. And speaking of happiness, we may as well start decorating a little bit more. So since everyone's sort of sleeping at night, I don't need to watch things closely and probably try and do all of this stuff. Windowed attic. Decorations increase different house stats. These stats increase house quality and make the inhabitants happier. Yeah, okay. How is this placed though? Oh, it has to go on top. Ah, interesting. What about these? Open balcony. Yeah, these would be kind of interesting, although I would say that it might cause a lot of houses to sort of lean a little bit to one side, right? So, could be a bit concerning. Generator. Needs 5 metal. It's a bit expensive, some of this stuff. +4 comfort. I don't have the resources at the moment. I need more wood. And our wood production is actually a little slow. I don't know if we want to try and fix that somehow. Let's get one person working on food, and I'm trying to see if there's a source of wood somewhere that we can try and access. This might be something that we can get to pretty easily. So yeah, let's drop one person in there. And look, some of these numbers obviously dip because people are sleeping. So I'm hoping at the height of the day we should see these numbers come up pretty significantly. Another ghost ship. The last time we did this, we just managed to get a whole bunch of stuff from it. I mean, why not? There is probably a risk of injury or something like that here, but our influence is at max at the moment, so I think I should expend a little bit of it. Oh, we've got a whole bunch of workers doing nothing here. My bad, my bad. We will probably see the need to bring all of these people back in anyway. Let's reassign them there, and what else can we work on? Maybe more of this stuff here down below. Oh, and our boats. Our boats are, again, idling. Well, one of them is, so... Look at that. Ah. I love it. Love seeing the food climb. Probably want at least one more greenhouse. And we'll hopefully be able to sustain a much bigger population after. Let's just get people out of there. And I think the one working on this wood pile should be okay. Let's just add another person there, and we need everyone back at their stations over here. Actually, I might need to pull this guy off, or both of them even. Drop them in here. Yeah, so now that I sort of look at it a little bit closer, we do have like electricity supply. And basically, the more supply you have, all of the things that need electricity will basically take everything from the supply first. So even if you don't have anything running electricity, it's probably a good idea to just generate as much electricity as you possibly can. Let me chuck that there, and what I want to do is start thinking about deconstructing some of these walls. Again, I'm gonna have to decide on research. Maybe we can go in with some bigger houses. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Okay, the fishies have respawned. Let's just get our boats back out. A ship with passengers are passing by. Let's get... what do we want? Do we want more engineers? I feel like engineers would be the most useful group, but... yeah, I mean, looking at the numbers of the different factions that we have, I think we should get some engineers. And we do need to house them immediately, so... housing. I can probably get, like, some houses set up down this way. I'm just trying to think of, like, the most efficient way we can get houses in without making things collapse, obviously. Maybe. I think we still have clearance as well, because clearance is also important. Yeah, hopefully that works for us. And with a couple of extra hands, we should be able to get that extra greenhouse, right? So let's get it in. So I've always wondered, and this is something that I think proves my theory correct, but this watchtower obviously needs some kind of a pathway for the worker to get to his worksite. I think he can just simply walk through these greenhouses. He doesn't have to sort of go around or find any other path, which is good to know. Sometimes it might be a bit of a tight squeeze, right? So let's get a couple of workers in there immediately. And we do have two more idle hands. Let's get more wood production going. No wood in storage. Ah, yes, that's right. I do forget, but these things do need wood. We are consuming wood running these. So we're actually teetering on the edge with the wood production. So maybe we want to think about gathering more wood somehow. Would this be a good idea to start thinking about getting a wood crane and could gather wood from this thing? How much does it cost though? It will cost us 15 wood to get the wood crane. And plus I need to be able to get it set up in the first place, but maybe something like that. And then once it does come in, so low tide is coming in. Let's get people off of this thing. And yeah, we need to shift. Maybe get some people gathering some metal. And we now have access to this little section here, which has metal in it, but also the walls can now be deconstructed for metal as well. So we're going to want to try and get there. It's just that I feel like I need to save my wood to be able to build that crane. Let's get a couple of people on that. Yeah, things are actually looking pretty good. I mean, look at our food production. Have we gone overboard on the food production? We may have. Maybe I can get a couple of people out. And, yeah, that way we're not producing so much food. And I don't know if I should consider building myself, like, another food storage area. Because I can get another one in this shelf, or sorry, in this, well, right next to the existing shelves. let's keep an eye out on that, because it could be an option. But otherwise, we should try and get people working on other stuff here, so... I will need some engineers, though, for this crane. I mean, I don't even know if we'll be able to get, like, enough wood in before high tide comes back, and with high tide, this thing's just going to simply disappear. Oh, I've got some wood now. I mean, let's give it a go. No. There. And we shall prioritize that. And also, I need a couple of my engineers, right? So I need to try and fish out some engineers from different locations. Oh, we've got like an engineer working here. Maybe we shouldn't be using an engineer for fishing. I might want to drop in another worker, another type of worker in there eventually. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's get our 2 engineers working, and I want to see how quickly we get more wood as a result. Look at that. Oh, that's nice. That's perfect. So what we could do is we could just leave this here even if we don't end up using it. And we could always sort of move it around wherever some more wood spawns. Like over here, there's more wood, right? Like you could argue to set up another crane just above it. Okay, that's really cool. Loving it. You know what, guys? I think this is probably a good place for us to call it an episode. I think we've done really, really well in this one. Not only have we confirmed that the water issue has been resolved, we have... I mean, it doesn't look so good here because we've got additional storage for water now. If we compare the numbers, though, from the very first episode and the second episode, we definitely have a lot more water in storage, and our food is looking crazy good right now, so we can probably bump up the food consumption for everyone back up to the next tier, just to keep everyone a little bit happier. But we'll do that in the next episode if we do indeed come back for another one. Chuck us a like if you enjoyed everything so far, guys. Otherwise, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one.